we haven't really talked to the detail of the coaches,
I understand that.
so.
There's 3 decision packages that we would just looked at. A significant portion of that is dealing with athletics. So I'm assuming that those recommendations, since they're not part of the superintendent's continuation budget, these are recommendations that are coming from the committee?
Definitely on the AD one, it's definitely been the committee. The coaches, it's been part of our conversation, but we haven't looked at that list in details and make a recommendation that's.
And I'm not asking as chair, I'm just asking as a board member, given the consideration and the interest and the people that have been here in the last couple of meetings and the subcommittee meetings, I would just ask that I'm looking for as a board member for guidance from athletics and extracurricular activities as far as prioritization and recommendation.
Absolutely. So, and the other one that is being forwarded to negotiations isn't part of any of those factors.
Understood.
It's not part of the package.
Okay. Building facilities.
Joe's not here, so I'll do a report. We met Tuesday, February 14th, and
Sorry.
we went over, this is information we've already had, so I don't think I need to go over it, but we talked about the transportation and the ADA grant update. I believe that Mr. Tierney gave us a good update last time we met, so I won't go over all the details except to say that, we're getting $1.3 million transportation grant. It'll be, the finances will be handled by the town, because the state can't give it directly to us. And that we will share approximately $150,000 of the grant with the town of Hebron to cover the cost of engineering design for a new street light and upgrades at the corner of Route 66 and Wall Street. And the balance will be used for road safety, design upgrades, and also we got, at a separate meeting, got approval to use a portion for some of the ADA upgrades as well. And one comment that came through, a bit of advice from the state was that, to the districts, was that on future projects, they should be submitted for funding as shovel-ready, with design and engineering complete. They were more likely to get things progressed the way they want them to be. We talked about student parking. That was a long discussion. We talked about many aspects that have already been discussed here at our board meetings. There are many variables and options in terms of what can or cannot be done, but we do know that we're running out of space. So, and that might be alleviated once we finish our whole transportation project, but we don't know. Also, declining enrollment impacts that as well. So, in the end, we decided, there was consensus on the committee, that Rham needs a long-range student parking plan and a policy relative to student parking. So, Dr. Szymanski agreed to have the administration draft a policy for 2017-2018 and present it to the board, and we can review it and discuss it. All right. There was an update on the library furniture issue. We're trying to get some handle on some furniture pricing, not for this year, but for next year, 18-19, because that's coming up in our master plan. And actually, in the middle of doing this, there was an active learning center furniture grant that was put out by Steelcase, and Steelcase is a furniture dealer, so it's valued at $65,000. So Jerry Stinney has submitted an application proposal for the grant. They're giving out 15 of them nationwide. So there's a chance. But in the process, too, this is allowing us to formulate some concepts and make some plans for what would work in the library, and we can translate that into some better figures next year. And just so you know, much of the existing classroom in the school dates back to the old school that was torn down. And so it would be also applicable to classrooms as they are upgraded, which is again part of the master plan. And then we also discussed the split referendum concept, and the committee agreed the full board should discuss the issue at either this meeting or March 6th. At least we can just maybe discuss it here and then have a decision by the March 6th budget meeting. And I think we're going to, we have that on the agenda this evening. Or do we?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So-
Separate-
Well,
separate-
What's gonna happen, I just procedurally, because we don't have a quorum, all the
Right.
action items, I'm just gonna adjourn the meeting as soon as we get through the reports,
Okay.
except for the item for the reports that are submitted, where we might have more questions, but we can't take
We
any,
can't.
can't take any
Take any
action
action.
tonight, so.
All right, so
Yep.
hopefully we'll talk about this at the March 6th budget meeting. Because we need to make a decision fairly soon because it needs to be communicated
Mhm.
to the towns. That's the direction we decided to go in. We talked about girls softball field and, what we found out is the district had no definitive information from the town of Hebron, so we found out that they haven't made a decision this year, and most likely it'll be within 2 years.
Yeah, Bob spoke with Andy Tierney, and
Yeah.
I spoke with him too, and he said it's 2 years out before the deal.
And there was only one other issue with HVAC update. We have 4 classrooms that really need HVAC revisions. They've been put off for a number of years. And so Bob had one appraisal and there were others due shortly, and we'll know what that might be. That's it. Thank you.
Rich, you had a question?
I wonder if we could take this opportunity to get the opinion of the Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen about the taking up the budget.
We can do that when we have a full discussion on it. In fact, we can invite, do that, because then it's an approval, invite them to the action.
I have a question on the field. Is that something that's negotiable
What do you mean?
for the town? 2 years.
The only feedback that, as far as timing, of that I don't know. I didn't ask for this time, I was just told that's when it's happening, because there's isn't there something happening that they need to do within 2 years, because there's some event coming or something, or there's something they want to do with baseball by that time?
They want to get tournaments because it helps us
That's
fund
they
the
want
money.
tournaments because they can generate revenue.
But I believe, from what I understood from the meeting, it was like $2,000 for the game to be played. That's the income to the town. And if that is true, our budget is quite significant compared to 2,000. And I don't know if that's the right number. I just wanted to know, is it negotiable?
Well, we haven't approached it as being negotiable, it's kind of been told that it's happening. But if there is something that needs to be negotiable, we need to talk about it, because once that field is gone, we have an issue with Title IX.
I agree.
That's gonna need to be addressed.
I agree, but I think that we're all asked to work with the towns and Board of Ed, and this would be working together and negotiating, does that really need to go away in 2 years? Could it wait?
Plus, we already have one of the variables too, is 18,000. Am I correct for engineering?
I've got 18,000 for engineering, and I'd be happy to sit down and listen and find out if that could in fact be negotiable given the budget issues that face both the town and the district.
Okay. A lot of things up in here.
Thank you. Finance hasn't met since the last meetings. Negotiations, there's no meeting tonight. Policy, I'm sorry.
Communication.
What did I say? Yes, I did, sorry, it's at the top of the page, yeah, communications, please.
So, the website, Dr. Sininsky provided a proposal for Gil Pages to help with the web design. He provided some timeframes on expected completion. The next steps would be to have the administration sit down with Gil and create a definitive list of all the items that will require a change. They can ensure that the Facebook and Twitter link will be placed on the school website. And I requested if we could have monthly updates, and said that shouldn't be a problem. So during the communication meeting, Gil will provide monthly updates on where he's at with the progress of the site.
You said we committed already to the vendor for doing it?
Did we commit to have two budgets, an operational one and a capital one. So I don't know. So that was, the communication committee also agreed to proceed ahead with. And I think really that's all that's worth chatting about.
Great. Policy did not meet for the program meeting since we met. Our last meeting was the 6th, right? February, since we've been 2-3 weeks since the last meeting.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
cancel
they program me.
except for superintendent search. and-
Oh, no, understood. But I'm just saying the program committee, the program meeting. Yeah, before our last meeting. Yeah. All right, Dave's not here, Judy's not here, so that eliminates facilitators report. Chair's report, we've got 2 meetings this week for the search committee, as you know, tomorrow night and Thursday, right? Yep. So, and a reminder that those meetings begin early, at 5. We have to be here
Yeah,
at 5,
5:30.
they won't begin at 5:30. So if anybody's not going to be there, please let me know ahead of time. The second item is I did not receive any requests for specific agenda items to add to our agenda items since our last discussion, so I don't have anything that's been added to add to the agenda. But again, we've had so many meetings, we've got a lot going on. Student reports, tell us something good, positive, cheery, please.
All right, well, just one thing that I was happy about when I was looking through the, this budget is,
One thing.
well, it's not actually like confirmed yet, but one of the decision packages has like a 25,000, like, option for like improving the sidewalks, and I would really support that, because like, if you look at the sidewalks outside right now, there's a lot of logs and small potholes and cracks in them. And I don't think that it really reflects like the excellence that the school is inside, so I really like to see them be redone or like fixed in some way. And also they are a safety hazard for students that may have disabilities or may be dealing with some sort of injury, so I'd like to see those, like, I'd like to see that like discussed more and seriously considered. And the only other thing I'd like to say is that I'd like to see, I also support like the separate budgets. I think that's an issue.
This is actually a question, sorry, it came up when I was looking at this. When it breaks down the SAT scores, it has the writing section, but the writing section isn't scored like that anymore, so where did those numbers come from?
They came from the SAT, from the guidance report that's.
Okay, because they don't score the essay portion on the 800 scale on the other side.
And those were the schools
Okay.
that got from guidance.
Okay, I was just
Are
curious.
they trailing by a year or so? Since they first went to SAT?
That's last year's.
Okay.
Might be last year's numbers. I don't think they have, you don't have this year's, Scott, or? No, it's going back at least a year.
Okay, sorry, I was just curious.
Anything else?
15, 16.
Yeah,
That's fine. We can't do item 8.1 or 8.2. 8.3 is the reports, student activity reports. Rich, I think you said you might have had a question on the reports. Was it the curriculum?
Yeah.
Instruction assessment and instruction technology report?
Yeah, in the report, there were like 4 new classes. There were 4 new classes in the report. Are these previously approved classes?
They were suggested as electives, so we can see if there are any, if there's any interest in bringing it back to the board.
What does that mean?
I'm sorry?
What does that mean?
In other words, the students would be signing up for classes now.
Oh, okay.
I think the board has to approve them.
If they're new.
If they're not like that.
Okay, 8 point, any other questions? Okay. 8.4, we're not going to discuss. 8.5, regarding the audit, we're not going to discuss. 8.6, the 2 budget question referendum item, we're not going to discuss tonight. All of those items will be placed in the next agenda. Brings us to item 9, informational items. 9.1 is the calendar of events for the high school, and the 9.1B, use of the building for high school and middle school, as well as the calendar for high school and middle school. And that brings us to item number 10, which is public comments. If anybody would like to address the board again at this time, please
Thank you.